Hi guys, so today Spellbinders has launched their new collections for September going into October. They usually launch their new things like on the 20th of the month, towards the end of the month there on the 20th. And they did send these items free of charge for my review, and of course all opinions are my own. And any links in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items through those links. So this is from the Christmas Traditions collection, the items that I have. They also launched some new beautiful flowers that come with like flower dies that come with like a little container to put them in from the Susan's Flora collection. And so I have a couple of those that I will try out very soon. They put out some of the stitched kind of items where if you want to do some hand stitching or just use the dies as background dies for the beautiful stitch effect or look of like little holes that make a design basically. They launched some of those, some new DMC like threads and needles and all kinds of pretty stuff. So I'll have the link to all of the collection that they came out with for the end of September here, and then I will have the specific links to the items that I'm using. So again, these are from the Christmas Traditions, and so I have Christmas Traditions paper pad and a stamp set. This is called Three Kings, so I'll open the paper pad in just a minute. Just beautiful. It's basically like silhouette stamps, and then it has some of the sentiments there. Wise men still seek him, oh come let us adore him, and then peace on earth with the beautiful palm trees, which I just think are lovely, and the little star, of course. I suppose your Star of Bethlehem there, and just an idea of how to put that together there. This is Through the Woods, and this one is called, I believe, Rejoice Nativity. So Through the Woods, as you can see, it has quite a few dies here, and you can make it look like a snow globe. You can make it, you know, a shaker. You can do whatever it is that you like. It comes with this large circle. The circle is about 3.5 inches. And then there's an inlay, so you can make that look like a starry sky in the background or however you want to use it. So maybe a black out the starry sky. Then the words Merry Christmas on top of all that. Build up your scene. You have your little snow that's already cut and ready to go. You just pop it in there. And then you have your little scene to build up. So we have this little truck. I do love that this is separate from that piece, because what you can do is cut out your truck and its little trunk. This is completely full unless you pop this in here, but I don't see why you'd want to do that. This is more of an accent piece to go on top afterwards, so it looks just a little more dimensional. And it cuts a little slit here, so you can tuck your little trees in there if you want. And then this piece here is your wheels. Of course, we're going to go over all this when we try it out now. And then a little bumper kind of accent piece. Your little lights that you can pop in here. Sweet little trees with the embossing details, so they're just ready to go once you cut it out on colored paper. Or you can cut it on white paper and color it in if you like, but green papers and you're ready to go with all that embossing. And then it also comes with a little ornament topper, so if you want to make this look like an ornament, however you want to use it. And then the Nativity is very similar in design, which I love. I love how it's just all kind of layers up and it's going to look really awesome. An oval die, and this oval die is about 3.25-ish here, and then in the other direction like 4.25, just over 3.25 by 4.25. The die itself. And then again we have the nesting die that'll make like a starry background. Oh, I love this. At first I saw like this one looks like little dots, and if you look up close there's like some that are like a different shape. I don't know if you can see that. They're kind of like diamond shaped. Really pretty. And then so you have your background, and then you have the words rejoice with the little manger scene and a little star up there. So that would go there. And then look at how sweet these are. Oh my gosh, we have Mary and Joseph there. I love that these are detached, because sometimes when you put a scene like this together, if it's all stuck together, then it's like, well, I want this different colors, and then you have to fussy cut them out. Like, this is so cool because you can just do whatever you like. And then little baby Jesus. Cute. Love it. And then this one has this little piece here. So this little piece will cut you like what would look like the ground kind of in the background or however. So I would just run this guy through and then put this wherever it is that you want it, so that when this layers on you have like ground. I'd probably put it a little bit lower, however you want to play with that one. So that's really cool. And then again it comes with a little ornament topper or hanger. And let's check out the paper pad. Christmas Traditions. I usually start in the back because it's easier for me to flip forward. It says 24 sheets, 12 designs, and so 2 of each design, right? And it has 12 foiled sheets of 6x6 paper pads. So there's a foiled stripe, diagonal stripe. It's kind of like organic looking. It's not like super straight, like the, well, it's straight, but the lines aren't, the edges are a little bit kind of like fun. They're not super rigid, should I say. Look at this one with the little dots. Love that. Confetti kind of look. Candy cane type stripe. Oh my goodness. I need another one of these. Look at this. So cute. The little lights with the little foil. I love a black and white striped paper or anything like this with the, and behind any, oh, it just looks so pretty. So I'm glad to see that. We have that lime green kind of plaid and diagonal. Foil star paper. Foiled little dots. Very cute. Kind of a red, kind of wallpaper feel it's giving me there. Kind of reddish pink, more like coral red. Striped foil. Lovely. Oh, look how traditional and pretty that is. I love the colorway on that with that pink background. And it's kind of mottled. So pretty. Again, watercolor kind of poinsettias. And then we go back to that stripe and back again. So pretty. So let me grab some papers and we will get started. Okay, so first I'm going to try out the Rejoice Nativity scene items. So I know for sure the very background I grabbed some different papers here. I'm going to need a gold. I don't know if I have a piece of paper big enough right now, but either way, I'm going to find one. I have other pieces here. Oh, here. I'm going to do one just gold. So this is going to be in the background and it's going to shine through whatever I use here. So I'm going to cut one out just like this, right? Run it through my die cutting machine. The next one I'm going to do is going to be this dark blue with the little star inlay. So I'll put it like that. Of course, tape it so that it doesn't move. The dies don't move. Run that through and then we're going to have that piece. And I have this silver paper. Let me see if it's big enough. I might go fish out some more. With this silver paper, I'm going to do the same thing, but this one I'm going to use the Rejoice Nativity scene. Tape that down, make sure those dies don't move. Run that through. So those are 3 different layers. I will run this back through with some gold accents later because we have this little piece of star that cuts out and then like these little areas here that we can decorate a different way if we want. So I might run that through again with some gold scraps, but we'll talk about that when we get there. And then as far as the background underneath their feet, I'm going to take the large die again and just put it here, yeah, about here. Run that through, and I'll talk about it when I get back. Okay, so after I run this through, I'm not going to place this in here now because I want it a little bit lower, and I mean, you can place it like here if you wanted to run it at the same time, but you don't want these overlapping. The dies should never like touch each other as far as like one being on top of the other. They could be right next to each other, but that's about it. But I'll just cut a piece and then we'll cut a little layer out of it in just a minute. And for my little characters here, I'm going to cut them out in this light blue color. And then to make them pop, I'm also going to cut these out in gold and we're going to drop shadow them. So these 3, I'll just tape that, run it all through at the same time, and I'll be right back with all the pieces. I just have to show you, I just ran this through and I picked it up and everything came out perfect. Look at that. I didn't have to even pop anything out. Looks so cool. So pretty. Okay, I'll keep cutting. So for this piece here, I'll probably address it in just a minute once I see kind of where I want this to be. These pieces. So these are the pieces, you know, if you want to paper piece them back into a different one, you can hold on to them. But for now, I'm just going to take these pieces out. And then see about how much I need. So again, you can see this little star kind of pops out. So if you can maybe piece that in with some gold or some other color, and then these pieces too. Or you can leave them just like that. Yeah, just depends what you want to see. So for sure, I'm going to glue this to this. And then as far as the little ground, we'll create that in just a minute. Lots of things to pop out here. Put this around here. Don't want to get too much. I'm just trying to put the glue where there's spots. And there's plenty of spots where you can put the glue without getting all in the holes there. And I'm just creating this here, but if you want to create this on your card base, that'll work too. Okay. And then this would be here. Oh my gosh, so pretty. And so if this is behind here, you know, how much of it do you want to keep? You want to just keep it flat? You want to do 2 layers of different colors? I mean, you can do all kinds of layers. Something like that. Just under that. Okay. So I just kind of want to eyeball what I'm looking at. There's this, and there's also, you can keep it this way, just about there. I'm going to go ahead and run this piece through. I like to reuse my little tape. And I'll be right back. Okay, and while I did that, I went ahead and cut, again, from little scraps of gold paper. I just popped them in this area and then by the star, so I can get my little gold star. And these other little bits I'm going to pop in. So we can take this. Again, if you want to do a little distressing, I usually leave things looking pretty clean, but I'll add a little edge on this. Not even sure that made much of a difference there, but I'll just pop that there. And then this is going to go on top of that. Oh, so pretty. Okay. And I'll lay down that frame, and then we'll go ahead and put this on a card base and go from there. And yeah, I have some ink that does not want to come off my hands. We'll get it going. It'll come off one day. Okay. So pretty. Oh my gosh. And these inlay dies, like, you can mix and match those or play with them in different ways, because again, they're inlays, so they don't cut out on the edge. So if you just want to put like a card with this rejoice in the background, or like the little starry oval, it could be really pretty, like a focal point, and then maybe build up something on top of that. Be really nice. Now this guy, I do want this to stay down because it's kind of delicate, so I do want it to stick so things don't get caught on that. And I'm going to pop this down, I'm going to hold it down, and I'm going to come back with a card base and we'll finish it up. Okay guys, so I have a standard A2 size card base from Spellbinders card kit. Nice texture on there. Oh, I don't want to move those too far, I'll leave that there. I'm going to go ahead and glue down these papers. I cut some of the blue cardstock that I had, the same blue that I used in the background, to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Again, like I say, if you don't like working in eighths, you can do, you know, 5 1/4 by 4. But I wanted a very thin mat, and then this is going to be a thin mat for this too. So this is 4 by 5 1/4. So again, if you're doing quarters, then this one should be like 3 3/4 by 5, I suppose. But that's going to be very large spaces. And you can mix and match those. You can do some eighths, some quarters, however you want to do it. But these are all matted in eighths, so you can see that very thin blue line. And debating if I should just stick this straight down, or if I should give it some oomph. I think I will pop it up. Well, let me think. We have this here. We have our characters. We're going to drop shadow. I'll give them a little bit of depth with like a thinner dimensional foam on the back, and I'll be right back. Okay, we have these guys. And I could have popped in the little extra bits while this was flat, but for now I'm just going to pop it on here. And what I mean by that is like the little gold star and all that. And this is really the focal point of my card, so I'm just going to pop this here and just kind of eyeball that it's centered. That looks pretty good. A little bit higher up, but then left to right. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead. I'm sorry, there's a crow outside if you hear that. It's early in the morning and they are already out. Okay, I'm going to put glue in these spaces. And that's where I'm going to pop these little guys in. It's just something extra. You don't have to do this at all. And here. Here. And this beautiful little star up top. And then what I'm going to do is drop shadow our pieces here. So, I mean, they look gorgeous in gold too, right? Gold characters. I'm going to do this light blue with a little gold drop shadow. Okay, so not too much of a drop shadow, like what I'm showing you right there is a little bit much, but let's say I'm going to get a little bit of glue on here. Just a small amount of drop shadow. I'll do that with all the characters. And I'll be right back. Oh, and you know, I should mention, I'm putting his out here, and then we have the baby, right? Let's see. And so when I put Mary's, I will put her drop shadow on the opposite side. I usually drop shadow everything the same way, like to the left and, you know, up and down, or to the left, or however. So it would be like this. And you can do that, but I think I'm going to drop shadow hers on the outer side, just so it kind of frames out a little nicer. Okay? I'll be back. Okay, guys. So finish this off. I want to see kind of where I want to put these. I'm not sticking them down quite yet. I did put little dimensional adhesive on the back of them. So sweet. Should be like there. There. So pretty. Now, this is, I would leave it just like this. Maybe you add a little organza bow or something. We have these stamp set. It says, "Oh, come let us adore him," which would be wonderful. You can, you know, stamp that, or if this was just a blank paper, you can stamp it there, or you can stamp it on the inside as the sentiment on the inside, because to me it already has a sentiment on the outside. So beautiful card. So what I'm going to do is, very similarly, is cut these pieces. So again, I'm going to have a background, I'm going to have a inlay starry kind of sky, I'm going to have one that's just the beautiful words, and I'm going to cut some of these guys out of some green papers. A red truck, of course, classic. So red truck, red little tailgate. We have a bumper. I'll probably cut out like in a silver color or a gray. And then this part I'll cut out with some black paper, so that's going to be the little wheels kind of hanging out from the bottom. And this guy, ooh, maybe some sparkly paper or something white, or it's white and then we can make it sparkly, however. I think that'll be fun. And then our little tail lights. Probably just in yellow. You can do yellow, red, gold, you know, whatever it is you want. If you make it simple, just they can all be yellow or however. And maybe I'll cut this out. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it, but I would cut it out in like a silver. And I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so for the second card, I have all my pieces here. And we're going to play with these in just a minute, but I have that circle background. Again, the one with the inlay for the little stars. And then the one with the inlay for the Merry Christmas. And I'm going to make this one a shaker, so I have some paper here. Again, standard A2 size cardstock. I cut this black piece of paper to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. I'm just going to glue that one down. And then I have another piece cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to make that into a shaker. So you can make the whole circle just itself into a shaker. It's not super wide. It's probably about 1/4 inch, so you can probably do that pretty easily. But to make it even easier, I'm just going to make the whole card a shaker, at least the whole card front. It'll still only show through that circle area, but I'll show you what I mean in just a minute here. But to do that, we need to know where I'm going to build up my scene, because that's all going to be down here. Oh, how pretty with the little snow. It just looks so pretty. Down here. And then this is going to go on top of everything to make that space so you can actually make a shaker. Otherwise, if this is back here, you're just not going to have the shaker space. However you want to layer it up. My little car and my truck and all that, truck should I say, is going to go on the inside with the little trees. But for now, I need to know where to build this scene so I can pop this on here and it'll be just fine. So I'm just going to take a look at that and take my circle, because the circle, we need that to make our aperture. And wherever you think that you want to put it, I am going to put the little top to make it look like an ornament. So, you know, we've got to adjust for that. So I'll put it like here. And I'm just going to take a little bit of this. And I'm taking it towards the inside just because I know that part's going to fall away. So now I'm just going to take this piece and run it through my die cutting machine, and I'll be right back. Okay, now I have that, and I need this piece. And I'm not sticking this down yet, but we're also going to put a piece of acetate, because this is just layering weight paper. If I was just to put foam on this, it'd be kind of a little flimsy, a little thin. So the acetate that I'm going to use for this, I cut basically the whole size. It's a little bit smaller than 4, a little bit smaller than 5 1/4, just to fit back there nicely. And that's going to be on here. But what I'm going to do is just hold this for a moment and build our scene, so when I come back later, it'll be where I need it to be. So that circle's going to go right there. And I am going to put some glue. I know that's there. And I'm going to build up everything flat. Even though our little car has, our truck, should I say, has areas that we can raise up, like if you want to use it a different way, that'd be great. But for the inside of this, it's pretty much needs to be flat. So I'm going to put this here. And you can go ahead and glue this down too. Cute. What I want to show you about this is that it has little divots in it. So when you take your little trees, which I think I'll use these two for that part, you can actually like put them in here so it looks like they're coming out of the snow. I love that kind of detail. Just super cute. It'll be something like that. Well, a little more straight, but let me put this to the side for now. We're going to put together our little car, which again is just this. And pretty good size pieces. Oh my goodness. I have a cough drop, so it's making it hard for me to speak here. If you want to do any inking around the edges, that always makes things pop, especially with this since I'm going to keep it flat. But I'm just going to pop this in here. Just more detail. And then in the back, put that down. So cute. And then I'll put a little strip across here. Put this guy down. So he comes together really, really quick. The only thing that's a little bit smaller that we got to work with are the little lights. And let me get this little pokey tool. Let's get those popped out. And I'm going to put a little glue here, like a little dot of glue. And pick up my little lights. I just cut those out of gold paper. But yellow or orange paper or whatever color you want. So there's one dot that's a little bit larger, and then there's a set of dots that are a little bit smaller. So cute. Now he's going to be buried inside, you know, the shaker card, but if you wanted to, this is going to be like on top of your card. What you can do is also put like a little clear piece of acetate back here just to have like a reflection if it's something that's going to be noticeable. But for me, it's not going to be that noticeable, tucked in here with everything around it. And then I have a little extra tree to tuck in the little tailgate there. Oh my gosh. So cute. Okay. I am probably going to stick this down all in one piece, so let's just get some glue on this. Again, I'm trying to do everything flat. You can get on the very edges of the trees. How pretty is that? Again, I'm tucking mine in because it's going to be a shaker card, but if this is on your card topper, I mean, it's lovely. And then this would go, you know, obviously our little car, and that right on top. So pretty. Again, I'm keeping everything pretty flat. This is the cutest. Aw, it looks cute even a little bit sideways because like it's driving on rough terrain or something, but I'm just gonna lay it flat. So I'm gonna keep that held down, and then I'm gonna go ahead and glue these two pieces together again, just putting glue all over this. And then once that's set up and I can kind of manipulate this a little more, I am going to go ahead and place foam adhesive just to line this out. And you can get a little bit closer if you want to this, you know, you put your foam and then maybe a little bit more here, just so you don't have to fill it up with that much glitter, but because it's going to fall down all the way to where the foam is. So if you want to put a little extra, maybe a little here and here, it'll keep the glitter more in this area here. But I will be right back. One other thing I should have done before I put the foam on there, sorry, I already put the foam on, but was to stick this guy down. We're just going to pop this in that space. Now you can also stick this underneath, but I think it looks cute kind of up on top. So I'm just putting a little glue, really making sure that stays down. And I'm just going to put it straight, but you know, if you want to put it at a jaunty angle, that's up to you. So I'll hold that down too. So when it comes over here, look at that. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so we have that. I'm just taking the carriers off of this foam adhesive. And like I said, I put an extra little bar in here just so I don't have to fill up the whole thing with glitter. It'll just kind of stay where it needs to be. There's a little something in there. And I'm just going to put some glitter down. You can rub the back of your acetate with like an anti-static pouch if you want, but I like to put enough, but not too much. I think that's good. It's just some clear kind of iridescent glitter. And now again, I'm just going to look right down here, and since we pretty much centered what we were going to be doing, I can just kind of pop this in here and it just works. Oh my gosh, you guys. Let me turn this over and give it a swish. Really get that foam stuck down. Okay, just gorgeous. Oh my gosh, how cute. Again, I always give the tip of not letting it pile up in the center, and then I forgot to do that, but there you go. Just gotta knock it out of place. Oh my gosh. So cute. And then this guy, you can pop him up with some dimensionals. I'm just going to glue it down since we already have a lot going on anyhow. And you can put a little twine on that or something if you would like. Maybe a little organza bow here somewhere. Super cute. And that's our second card. Okay, for this last card, it's going to be, I think, pretty simple, a little bit artsy. I'm going to take that oval. We're going to do a little stamping. So I have some cards here, some card pieces. So we have our card base. Again, standard A2 size. I think I'm going to orient it like a landscape mode. I have a piece of scrap paper that it's barely going to be visible, but I did want to put something in the background, so I'll just go ahead and glue that down. And it's basically 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then on top of that, I have a black piece of cardstock that is 4 by 5 1/4. And then we're going to be stamping on a white piece of cardstock that's about the same size. It's a little bit smaller than the 4 by 5 1/4, just so it nestles behind the black piece without kind of interfering there. So with this one, I'm just going to cut this in the center. We're going to cut that first so we can kind of know what we want to do, where we're going to place our stamps and all that. On the back, they have a really nice idea. But the way I'm doing it, I think I'm going to put everything, like my little, basically inside the aperture, so I can't really layer these guys on top of the city because it'll just kind of melt together. You won't be able to see it too much. So I'll probably use the 3 wise men there, and then maybe the palm, and for sure the star, but we'll talk about that in a minute. I'm going to run this through and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have that. I'm going to use this for layering some other time. I need this to kind of help me see what I'm going to do here. Now, like I said, this is a little bit smaller than this guy, but that won't be a big deal. gonna put that on there. I'll still build it up and then we'll see what we want to do. I think I'll first put down these guys. I am going to use an embossing buddy real quick. It just helps keep the clear acrylic away, but it's not the biggest deal. And I think I'm going to stamp these guys in here. I'm going to remove that black frame, so don't worry about that. For now, I'm just using it to help me see where maybe I should place my little characters. Yeah. Okay. We'll place a star in a minute. For now, I'm going to do this first. And then we'll come in with even the palm tree in just a bit because, well, I already picked that up. I'm not sure why I did that. I'm going to use this VersaFine ink. It's very juicy. It stays wet for a while. I recently read it's pigment ink. That's why it stays juicy for a while. Really get that on there. Looks pretty great. If you want to do it again, you can definitely just stamp again, but I think that looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and complete this, and then I'll do the palm tree and then the star. I'm just putting clear embossing powder on that, again, because that's that pigment ink. It'll just stick. Hope you can kind of see how it's just stuck on there. Oopsie. This is just a coffee filter to help me get this back in here. My heat tool plugged in. Yep, okay. So I'm just gonna heat that up. Again, as soon as it turns color, move on. At first it takes a while because the heat gun has to heat up. Alright, I'll be back. Love that. Okay, I'm gonna put this back here again. Pop this in here just to kind of help me out. Remove these guys, and I probably should have taken them to get cleaned off already, but I'll clean those off in just a minute. I had to do these in 2 steps just so I can make sure where I was going to put the palm trees. You can put the village back here, you know, a little piece of it, however. Should I put one there? I'll put it like there. The whole palm tree's not going to show, but just some of it will. Okay, and same thing, I'll pour a little embossing powder on that and heat that up, and I'll be back. Okay, and last thing I want to put is the star. So pretty. Okay, we're just gonna make that one with a little gold. And same thing, I'll put some embossing powder on that and heat it up, and I'll be back. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this is now distress it. Now you could have done the distressing first and then the stamping, but I like the way it looks like when it catches the edge of the embossing. once it's there. So if you do it the other way, it's going to be very slick, and then you have your stamping. But however you want to do it, of course, that's fine. I have this antique linen. I'm just going to kind of go in here and lay that down. A little further up than you think, just because I want to take a little bit of that white, knock that white off. And then I have weathered wood, which I haven't really used for a background before. Let me see how that looks. Yeah, I want it to be dusty, like dusk, but at the same time, oh, not too bad. So I'm going to continue working with this until it's as smooth as I would like. Just kind of rubbed in here. And I'll be back. Okay, I think that's done. And then afterwards I always just take like a paper towel and just rub off whatever might be stuck on the embossing there. That's pretty good. Okay, yeah, but we're just gonna layer this up. Okay, again, if you want this to be like a shaker, you can put some acetate behind this piece to make it a shaker, but I'm going to keep it nice and serene just the way it is, and then we're going to pop this on top. And I'm going to keep it all flat. So I'm just going to take a moment to glue this down, and then glue down the frame over it. Really simple, just kind of layering that. And then I'll put glue all in here and layer it right on top. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay guys, and I was going to put the sentiment, wherever you'd like. I was kind of looking at, you can put Peace on Earth, you can put it in here. This one's a little bit bigger. Then we have that one. You can just cut it out and pop it on here. Since it's all smooth, I think I'll do this one, and I'll put it in there. The other thing I was thinking was to emboss the frame, just to give it some texture too. Go ahead and cut it, and then emboss it, and you'll have a texture on that. Let's see here. Oh. Trying to see how straight that is. Pretty good. Okay. And I'm just going to stamp that with like a dark blue. A little artsy, a little fun, and pretty quick card. I don't want to push too hard because I did get it very juicy. There it is. Love it. Love that little scene building. And there's our third card. So we have this one. We have our little shaker. And this all from the new collection there. So pretty. So thanks for watching. Thank you so much, Spellbinders, for sending these items for review. I'll have the links in the description box. I'll have some images for you guys coming up. And I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye now.